the bottle. To the other, you want to get it right. You want to try hard, but man, you can't get out of bed in the morning, so you skip too much. You want to be good, but you work with idiots, right? And it's like you're just mean at work. You work with a bunch of dummies, right? And you're like, oh, I can't believe I lost my cool again today. But what happens is that you think behavior is going to get you in. You think behavior is going to make you right, and you're like, I can't behave. And so you just throw your hands up. I'm out. I can't do it. I'm not like those other church people, right? I'm not as good as him. I can't be like her. Man, she reads her Bible. She's praying all the time. Look at her like she's speaking James, right? Like have that mindset, and it builds us so up. If you think behavior is getting into man, you got to butt theology. We get in by believing, not by behaving. And it is so that we get that. Because here's what happens. If we think we get in by behaving, what happens is we show up at church and kind of put on a show. I behave the right way, right? We kind of try to. As Christians, this is such dangerous theology. Our behavior is going to satisfy God's righteous requirements. Your behavior will not get you one step closer to heaven, but your belief will get you in. Here's the funny thing that happens. When we think behavior gets us in, we believe a lot less, and we miss out on heaven. When we realize that believing gets us in, our behavior gets way better. It is a crazy thing that happens. When we think it's about behavior, we actually get farther opinion. When we realize it's about belief, all of a sudden our behavior improves. Because we realize what an incredible gift God, right? We receive this incredible grace, and we're like, I get this by believing? I don't have to behave. I don't have to have it all perfect. And then all of a sudden we look back and we're like, man, behavior is much better now that I believe. Instead of thinking our behavior is going to lead us to believe. The second thing that we need to know about this is this righteousness, this justification. It's free for us, but it was not free for him. Sometimes what happens is we talk about the free gift of grace in church. The free gift of God, right? The Bible says this, all sin and fall short of the glory of God and are justified freely by his grace. And we're like, cool, it's free. Everybody's in. God is love. We're all there. It's free. I heard a story once about somebody who was to get rid of a refrigerator. And they set it out by the road. It was old, whatever it was. They're like, free. And for days, for weeks, it just sat there by the side of the road, right? And it was free. It was no one would take it. No one would put it off their hands. So they went out and they put $50 was stolen that night, right? Like, I don't know if you ever heard the story, right? Somebody came and stole it because it had $50. It can happen in the church. Talk about the free gift of so much, we kind of lose the value that it wasn't free for him. We talk about the justified freely. We're like, awesome, cool, I'm good. No. It costs a lot. It's just free to me. I heard a church once were giving out some curriculum, and the preacher said it this way. He's like, we want you to have this free book. Just realize, like, it wasn't published for free, right? I mean, it's free. It costs somebody something. Yeah, I probably shouldn't go here. In politics, we're we need some with that in math. We need even more of that spiritually. Because here's what happens. When we think that justification is just free, either abuse it or we appreciate it. Right? If we think justification, going to heaven because Jesus died on the cross. Let's go. Right? We abuse it. We indulge. We don't correct. We don't seek to get better. We don't work on justification because like it's free. It costs me nothing. Right? If I were to hand you something that's free, you're more than likely not to care about it. But if I gave you something that was $1,000, you're going to care for it more carefully. Our justification cost Jesus his life. Cost God the harm and the pain of watching his son struggle on the cross. And so we need to embrace that it's free for us, but it was not free for him. That intellectually changes everything. When we song like "Oh Come to the Altar" and we say "Oh what a Savior," that matters when we realize grace is free to us, but it cost him dearly, right? Because we realize what it means to be saved. We realize what our sin, the weight, the guilt, the punishment, the cost of our sin is. See there in Romans, the wages of sin is death. And I don't know about you, but I've